is up, gamers? This is that PlayStation Gamer. Today, I am going to talk to you guys about the PlayStation Portal, aka the PSP. Man, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I honestly thought this thing was gonna die. I thought this thing was dead in the water, but surprise, surprise, it's actually got some legs. And more surprising, it's not doing super well, but it's not doing super bad either. Like, they are selling out the units they make, and so it is doing pretty damn well. And this has led to a conversation of, should Sony look into handheld gaming? And I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of tempting. It's kind of tempting to see what Sony could do with a handheld version 3. Because let's be real here, while the PSP, the original PSP, because technically the anagram for PlayStation Portal is PSP, was a wild success. The Vita, not so much. I think the problem with the Vita overall was just, it was kind of too separated from the rest of the PlayStation experience. Like, they would try to do this, cross-buy stuff where it's like, if you bought the PlayStation Vita version of PlayStation All-Stars, you would get the PlayStation 3 version for at no extra charge. They also, I think they did that with a couple other games. I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me on that. But I do recall at least, the PlayStation All-Stars thing. And they did try to kind of integrate it in with the PS4 by making it remote play, which is very funny because that's essentially what the PlayStation Portal is right now. It's just remote play, but like on a better scale because, it actually is a, actually good device. Not saying the Vita was bad, but the Vita was just like, the problem with this machine was, one, there wasn't really a demographic for it, and the demographic that was, there for quote unquote was already on Team Nintendo. So there wasn't really a way for Sony to get into that market without problem B popping up, and that is, no one really wanted to develop for this thing. Yes, some Japanese game studios wanted to make things for this game. In fact, apparently the PlayStation Vita for a long time was getting support from the Japanese studios. But the problem with that very simply is Japanese games only have so much of an appeal and can only really keep up with so much demand. Like, okay, let's say, for example, Persona 3 Remaster, Golden, whatever, comes to Vita. In fact, I do think actually one of the Persona games did come. That at most will probably sell 5,000, probably not 5,000 units, but let's say 50K units. That's a lot of money, right? But Sony's going to look at that and say, well, that is a success, but compared to something like God of War, 2018, or Horizon, or hell, even something smaller like The Last of Us, or Uncharted, it's not a comparable success. So Sony was kind of in a position where it's like, either we invest heavily into the Vita and try to get this thing off its legs, trying to do something, or we invest into the big first party studios that we, have already been putting so much money into. So I honestly think at the end of the day, they made the right decision. Now, this all leads into the question, could Sony make a new handheld and somehow integrate it in like how you would a Steam Deck or like the Switch did, that actually would make it a, I guess you would say tempting offer? Honestly, I think so. And I think the Portal is kind of that start of that mindset of like, okay, people want to play their, console games on the go. What do we do to get our console games on a handheld device and allow players to play our games? Well, one of the things they've been doing is Steam Deck. That most PlayStation games, as far as I'm aware of, have been Steam Deck certified. Even like something like The Last of Us, which, came out in an abysmal state on Steam, eventually did get Steam Deck certified. So, in a sense, you kind of have a PSP2, Vita 2 right there. But it all goes into the question of, would Sony want to make one themselves? And I do think that's an interesting question, and I kind of wish I was a fly on the wall. I wish I was an investor that could sit at the meeting and say, do we have any interest at all at doing a handheld device or a hybrid handheld device? Like, I could see that being successful to a degree. But the question would come back up, would that be worth the money it's going to cost for R&D, research and development of this device, and then like all this other stuff on top of it, and then potentially porting games to this machine and all these other things. So unless I see it like completely integrated, like with the PS5, essentially making it a PS5 Lite, I don't really see it being a thing that you want to do. So like I said, I've been noticing like a conversation's been popping up because people have been talking about the Portal. And at the end of the day, the Portal is a nice little side device. It's a nice little side track. It's a nice little sideshow for, essentially playing the same games you're already playing on console, but now in the same household while you're on the toilet. Like, I know that makes it sound like a little disgusting, but let's be honest here. Unless you're, really a handheld, gamer, I don't see a lot of people buying Portals that aren't quote unquote hardcore gamers. I don't see people who are casual buying a Portal. And I said that when I first saw the device. I was like, yeah, this thing might have some legs on it, but that's it. It has some legs. It doesn't have, I guess the best way to put it, it doesn't have the appeal the Switch has. It doesn't, because it's not a hybrid device. It's just a device that happens to play games on console. But it does a good job. That's the thing that's kind of shocking. And it's at a relatively low price, too. Some people will look at that and say $200 is low. Well, considering how much a base PS5 costs, yeah, it's pretty low to a degree. Then with the rumors of a PS5 Pro coming this year, I feel like if Sony needs to do anything right now, it's just reevaluate how they're looking at their hardware and say, okay, what's our goals here going forward? Are we talking about doing a Portal 2? Are we talking about doing VR 3? Are we talking about doing a PS5 6? Is some closer than we actually think right now, like in the current time frame? Because supposedly, like in 2027, we should hear about a PS5, or not PS5, PlayStation 6. So where are we at in hardware scale and all that stuff? Like, what are their plans? That's why I wish we would know from Sony. So, this video is kind of everywhere, but it's like at the end of the day, I want to see where Sony's future is when it comes to hardware, because I think they're always going to have some kind of console, but I do think at this point they are eyeing, portable devices and asking themselves, what can we do that would be able to replicate that success? And, you could slap a PlayStation sticker on a Steam Deck and call it a limited edition. That could work, but that's more of a joke if anything, because that's something I would do. That's like I would buy a Steam Deck, and it's like, boom, here, I'll just put a PlayStation sticker on it. Oh, look, it's my Vita too. But what do you guys think? Do you think the PlayStation Portal is just a thing that just happened to catch on? Do you think it's a flop? Do you think it's a waste of money? Or do you like it? I know Cowboy, King of Entertainment, he likes it. He has one. Lucky son of a bitch. So it's like, I kind of would like to actually have that experience to see what it's like. Because honestly, from what it sounds like a good device. Do you think Sony should try and make their own Switch? Do you think they should try to just kind of bank off Steam Deck? Maybe work with Steam to have some kind of special edition console for the Steam Deck. Let me know in the comments section below. Until next time, guys, this is That PlayStation Gamer sign out. Don't forget to like I said, comment, subscribe, and all YouTube other than BS. Bye.